Less than 15 minutes are left till the end of the Tournament of Power. 5 universes have already been eliminated. The only ones who are still standing include Kefla from Universe 6, Topo, Dispo, Casserole, and Jiren from Universe 11, and of course, Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, Master Roshi, Android 17, and Gohan from Universe 7. Naturally, Universe 7 is winning considering how 6 of their fighters are still in the game, but will Kefla from Universe 6 and Jiren from Universe 11 allow that to happen? Now that's a good question. The Battle Royale is going to continue with Kefla stomping on Gohan's torso and asking him if he's sure he doesn't want to transform into a Super Saiyan. Gohan responds by grabbing her legs and hitting her with a kick of his own and saying no thanks. He really doesn't need that Super Saiyan transformation. And why is that, Kefla asks. She was genuinely confused. Like, why intentionally nerf yourself at a time like this even? Just what was Gohan plotting here? Gohan would grin like a menace and explains that he's chosen to evolve as a human and not just a Saiyan. He was no longer gonna rely on his Saiyan blood. Might sound cheesy, but Piccolo was there to elaborate and mention how Gohan is actually far stronger now than he was during the Buu saga. The rest of the fights also continue, but it becomes very clear that the first one to end is gonna be Gohan versus Kefla. There was no other way to go about it. She had reached her limit, and now that we look, the same goes for Gohan. Both Kefla and Gohan know that their next move is probably gonna be their last. It was fun while it lasted, but it's over now. Or is it? So far, everything has been going exactly as it did in the original Dragon Ball Super manga, but right as Gohan and Kefla exchange their final blows, Whis brings up something interesting this time. I was intrigued by how strong and stable Kefla has been, but I guess it was too good to be true after all, he says. What do you want about Whis? Beerus asks. Piccolo, the Supreme Kai, and the rest of the gang are also curious. I mean, what is Whis talking about here? Lord Beerus, let me ask you a simple question. If you multiply a negative by a positive, what do you get? Whis asks. Negative, of course. I know basic math, Beerus replies. Everyone was still a bit confused. I mean, why wasn't Whis just getting straight to the point? Well, he tells them to stop looking at him and look at what's going on in the battle. In this what if, we're gonna do something absolutely crazy. What if Gohan had gone beast during the Tournament of Power? And it's all gonna start with this battle versus Kefla. So guys, if you haven't already, consider leaving a like on the video to help us out in the algorithm. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video as soon as they go live, because trust and believe, when Sparking Zero comes out, it's gonna be a movie over here. Even Frieza would flash a little smirk now that there was only one universe left for them to defeat, but then suddenly there was a green flash of light. Kefla fires a gigantic wave of energy from her mouth and reverses her own fall, and apparently she's gone completely insane because she also kicks Gohan back into the ring. Kefla seems to be under the influence of her own rage the same way Broly was during the movie, but now we're dealing with the legendary Super Saiyan fusion. Of course, Goku, Vegeta, and even Frieza are left completely stunned because, chronologically speaking, the Broly movie hasn't even happened yet. Yeah, they've seen Kale go berserk before, but overall, neither Goku nor Vegeta, or anybody else for that matter, has any idea just how dangerously strong Kefla is right now. For Beerus and the others, Whis' concern finally makes sense. He was concerned that Kale's negative factor may destabilize the Potara fusion and lead to unexpected consequences like this. For Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, even Jiren and everybody else, they were all aware that if nothing is done about this crazy berserker, then it's possible they could all be cooked. And as for Gohan, he was already pretty much done when he was falling out of the ring, but Kefla brought him back and he's now just getting brutally mauled by her. And of course, Frieza's weird ass suggests that maybe they just let her kill Gohan, that way it'll at least get her disqualified. Meanwhile, Goku and Vegeta attack Kefla from both angles. They were using Super Saiyan Blue, but the sheer friction caused by Kefla's blows was enough to push them away. But at this point in the manga, Goku has yet to unlock Ultra Instinct, so it's no wonder why he and Vegeta were being outclassed before they even got the chance to hit Kefla. At the same time though, Whis comments that Kefla still may not even be at her best. Her power was continuing to increase at an exponential rate. There was no other way to go about it. 12 minutes were left until the tournament ends, and they have no choice but to draw it out. Just stall her by any means necessary. But of course, with time running low, Jiren wasn't gonna allow any of that. After Goku and Vegeta, Jiren is the next to try. As expected, his sheer presence counters Kefla's rage, and he manages to land a kick straight to her torso. This sends her flying away, and Gohan finally manages to get a moment to breathe. It was over for him though. Every bone and every organ in his body felt like it had been completely destroyed. Wrathful Kefla's assault on him was only about 20 seconds, but she inflicted enough damage that it probably isn't a stretch to say that Gohan could die any moment. Now Kefla would get up and grin and start laughing hysterically. Her laughter was so loud and brazen that it was shaking the very stage that they fought on. At this point, even the destroyers were beginning to become concerned about her rage, but the Grand Priest assured them that if she's still on her rampage after the tournament is over, then he'll personally subdue her. Kefla's roar and laughter would continue, and her wrathful Super Saiyan state completely transforms into the full power Super Saiyan transformation that we saw Broly use at the end of the movie. Right now, at this very instant, the strongest entity on the stage isn't Goku or Jiren. It was Kefla from Universe 6. She was laughing when she finally spotted Jiren and recalls that he was the one who just kicked her. Without wasting a single second, Kefla blasts straight at her. She destroyed everything in her path with her energy and then went on to land a kick on Jiren next, who foolishly tried to block it. Fortunately, Toppo and Dispo foresee the fact that if this kick lands on Jiren, he's definitely, without a doubt, getting knocked out of the ring, but there still wasn't enough time to warn him. Still, they try to act. Kefla's kick lands, but Toppo and Dispo had already jumped in front of Jiren, and yes, they were the ones who take on the full weight of Kefla's kick, and the impact was unreal. One moment, they get kicked, and the next moment, they slam straight into Belmont. Everyone laughs at Belmont, but not as loudly as Kefla herself. She was unhinged at this point. Now, Casserole and Jiren are the only ones from Universe 11 left, so Casserole thinks it's a good idea to stay close to Jiren and watch his back. But he should probably start by watching his own back first, because when Kefla notices him approaching Jiren, she jumps, dashes straight towards him, and lands a super effective punch to the side of the head. Jiren would see this coming though. That's why right when she lands her punch, he appears behind her and tries to hit her with his big attack, Blazing Magnetron. And at the same time as when Jiren's punch lands, Master Roshi hits the both of them with his strongest Kamehameha he could muster, and when the dust settles, both Kefla and Jiren just look at Master Roshi, but little did they know that Roshi's Kamehameha was just the distraction. Universe 7 was setting up some teamwork here. It takes them all of like 2 seconds before they look the other way, and by that time, Frieza had already tossed a death ball their way. And this what if, this is how the ring ended up being destroyed, but as far as Jiren and Kefla are concerned, they both managed just fine. By skipping over the pieces of the ring that were still floating in the air, they make their way back to the main arena. Jiren notices Goku and Vegeta arguing about something, and 17 was helping Gohan get up, while Kefla was after Frieza and Roshi. The entire tournament was in chaos right now. In a last-ditch attempt, Frieza shields himself using Roshi, thinking that if Kefla kills the old guy, she'll automatically be disqualified, but Kefla simply smiles, peers behind him, and kicks the both of them out of the ring. At this point, only 10 minutes remain now until the end of the Tournament of Power. Universe 6 still has Kefla, Universe 11 has Jiren, and as for Universe 7, well, we have Goku, Vegeta, 17, and Gohan. It's not overly complicated, they just need to hold out for 10 more minutes and they win. But how are they gonna do that? Beerus grabs the Supreme Kai's earrings and throws them at Goku and Vegeta. He screams and tells them to hurry up and fuse right now, but as fate would have it, the sheer intensity of Kefla's energy is just too much, because as soon as the earrings make their way towards the arena, they just shatter. Goku would bring up the fusion dance, but Vegeta replies that if they mess that up, then it's truly over, so it's best not to even risk it. Whatever, I'll handle the Saiyan woman. You do something about Jiren, Kakarot. If we can somehow stall these two out for the next 10 minutes, we win, Vegeta declares, and he dashes right towards Kefla, but within seconds, gets sent flying right back towards Goku. I don't understand. When me and Kakarot used Vegito against Zamasu, we defused so fast. How can you still keep going? What's so different about your Saiyan blood, Vegeta asks. But Kefla was still berserk and all she could think about was fighting. It was an interesting question though. I mean, why hadn't Kefla defused yet? You see, the reason Vegito Blue defused so fast was because his final Kamehameha exerted way too much energy. But when it comes to Kefla, the unstable nature of her transformation is ironically what's keeping it all together right now. Kale's negative and Caulifla's positive are clinging to each other like Naruto and Sasuke kinda. And seeing as how there looks like there's no other option right now, Vegeta would instead use his final explosion on Kefla instead of Top. Intrigued and amused, Kefla responds with a gigantic full blast of her own, and the two energies collide and blow a massive hole through the arena. But even this was unable to stop Kefla. Vegeta is on his knees trying to get up when Kefla shows up in his face and just blasts him away with a simple flick to the forehead. Vegeta falls out of the ring from the same hole that was just created by them thanks to their explosions, but right before he's eliminated, Vegeta sends the very last of his energy to Gohan. It wasn't much, but enough for Gohan to stand on his own 2 feet again. Why, Vegeta? You should have sent that energy to Dad, Gohan says. No, Gohan, I'm afraid Vegeta has the right idea. The only one who can handle Kefla is you. You told me your goal is an ultimate transformation unlike anything anyone's ever seen before, right? Well, if there was ever a time for such a transformation, it's now. Come on, Gohan. Gohan. Do your thing. I'll handle Jiren somehow, Goku states. Of course, Gohan was skeptical. I mean, he could barely feel his legs at this point, but before he could even reply to Goku, the worst and most dramatic moment of the entire tournament happened. Right in front of his eyes, Kefla unleashes her strongest attack yet. This is the same attack that Broly used in the movie to absolutely devastate the glaciers. I think it was called Omega Blaster. The blast makes contact with Goku and causes a cataclysmic explosion. Even Jiren isn't sure if he could have handled that attack head on. Kefla's Omega Blaster was even stronger than Universe 7's Spirit Bomb, and no doubt about it, Goku was done for. It was truly over now. Gohan and 17 were the only ones left. But as Beerus is telling the Grand Priest that Kefla should be disqualified for killing Goku, everyone's attention is brought back to Gohan. After witnessing Goku's apparent death when he could have done something to stop it for a second time now, Gohan experienced pure, uncontrollable rage and inner turmoil, and just like that, he transforms. Gohan would unlock his true power here early, at a time when he needed it the most, in the middle of the Tournament of Power, in front of all of the gods of destruction, in front of all of the angels, and in front of the Grand Priest and Zeno. And thanks to that Omega Blaster that presumably killed Goku earlier, everyone, even Gohan, would now turn their attention to the crater. And out of the rubble, much like what happened with the Spirit Bomb, Goku's fight or flight has activated, destroyed his limits, and attained Ultra Instinct. And now, both Beast Gohan and Ultra Instinct Goku stand right next to each other in the Tournament of Power. And as promised, Beast Gohan plans to take care of Kefla, while Ultra Instinct Goku is all on his own against Jiren. There's officially now 7 minutes left until the end of the Tournament of Power, and 3 universes remaining. 17, Goku, Gohan, Jiren, and Kefla. These are all of our fighters still remaining. So if you guys want to see a part 2, so what if Gohan went beast in the Tournament of Power? Let's try to get this video to 2,500 likes. I know it took a little bit of a break for the past couple of days, but even though the Dragon Ball Super manga is on a hiatus this month, I have returned, fellas. Don't fret. So try to leave some what if ideas down below in the comments that you guys want me to attempt, and even some Dragon Ball games that we definitely gotta revisit before Sparking Zero comes out, because let's be honest, we need some practice. I'm not trying to get scrubbed out day 1 in the Gravity Chamber.